Beautiful stuff. Beautiful. Very calming. Are you clapping for them or for me? Oh, for both? Okay. Entrance applause. Good morning, everyone. Another beautiful day forming outside. That's great. And we have the opportunity to become beautiful people entering that day. It's all about where you are in consciousness. And you can be beautiful in consciousness. I'll tell you a story. Beauty and ugliness went for a swim. They both took off their clothes, left it on the beach, and went for a swim. But ugliness came back first and put on the clothes of beauty. And then when beauty came back, only the clothes of ugliness were left. And the two have been mistaken for each other ever since. Okay, think about that. Is there anybody here from another unity? Anybody here for the first time? Raise your hand high. We've got a gift for you if you're here for the first time. Leave your hands up. Our ushers will bring you a gift. We appreciate you coming. We appreciate having you here. You're about to experience an amazing talk given by a person who lives the things that she talks about. So look forward to this talk coming up.
So join us. We need lyrics for it. You are the air I breathe. You are the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me. And I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful for you. Now you know the words, join us. You are the air I breathe. You are the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me. And I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful for you. So grateful for you. And you too. Yeah. All right. Blessings. All right. Now you have the opportunity to listen to some special guests perform for us. Let's give a warm welcome to Julie Roberts and Scott Immig.
Good morning. This is a really special song for me. This was one that was my grandmother's favorite, and I actually sang at her memorial service. And it reminds me of summer and coming into all the growth and beauty that God has given us. I come to the garden alone, while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses. And he walks with He tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known.
Who remembers that song? Does that take you back in time? I just wanted to say, let's open up our hymnals to page 238 before she sang, right? All right, let's get our entertainment team up here. We're going to sing Sunshine on My Shoulders. And we're going to have you guys stand up and sing with us, the John Denver song. We realized that this song proves to be harder than we all think we all know it, but it's actually kind of, so I'm going to direct them because we got a little lost during rehearsal. Here we go. Let's all sing together.
In my eyes, and in me bright.
Team, you guys are welcome to join it every single Sunday. You just have to be here at 10 a.m. Okay. While we're standing, let's say thank you, God, for this beautiful day. And turn and meet one another and get each other's names and make some friends today. Mom, can you get these mics down? I need. Okay. I just love hearing all the chitter chatter. This means we're making friends today. We're really actually practicing what it means to be a community, right? So I wasn't here last week. I was supposed to continue on a second talk from my talk 2 weeks ago titled Count It All Joy. But last week, my son officially graduated high school. And those are my kids. That's my daughter and Mike, me, my son, and that's Katya, my youngest. And it was a really, really special day. So I've got 2 graduated kids. One more to go. And boy, are the times changing. It's just the whole vibe of my life is kind of the endings and preparing for beginnings and all the feels, like all the feelings of that has so much sadness underneath it too. It's just like all the purpose that's behind that role. It's just an unbelievable thing how you just meet self in that letting go, right? In the celebration, it's everything that you worked for, and now we're stuck with self. It's like they say, wherever you go, there you are, right? How prepared are you to let go? So, Count It All Joy is from James 1, 2 through 4, and it reads like this: My brethren, count it all joy, when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and wanting nothing. Right? So James does not merely say count it joy, but he says count it all joy. That is, we can consider trials and tests as pure, total joy. Too often, we see trials in a negative light, or we assume that joy cannot exist in hardship. Worse, we consider the hard times as some form of karma, or worse, a sense of a universe that's out to get us, rather than what they really are, which are opportunities to joyfully mature into expanded awareness. Right? We don't usually joyfully step into expanded awareness because things are going really smoothly, unfortunately, right? So last week, so this talk title is moving into shifting paradigms, letting go of the old paradigms and building into the new ones. And you know, when I write sermons, I reflect on the conversations that I have with people, because I have a lot of conversations, and people don't tend to come and share their joys, right? People don't go to a minister to say, I want to tell you all the great things that are happening in my life, which I wish it was, but it's not usually the case. And there just seems to be a constant current right now that things are falling away from people, and things that they're very attached to are falling away. And there's kind of this sense of confusion going on of not only is it just some people, but it's everyone, right? Nobody's getting exempted from this reality. And as we look at trials and tribulations and situations like it just says it here in James, that we're stretched. We are brought internally into a place where it's time to let go of some of those lower self-esteem places, those limitations, those blocks that keep us from really building those butterfly wings and accessing what is the new, what is the new paradigm. But we have to go quiet. It's a time to be in the presence of meditation. It's a time to be near rivers. It's a time to be walking in nature. It's a time to be earthing and connecting to those subtle frequencies that shows us what's next, instead of just, looking through in the troubles and just staying in that stuck place, because you can stay there for the rest of your life if you want to, but most of us want to break through. They say when you're going through hell, keep going, right? You don't stop. And so I shared this slide that same week, 2 weeks ago. In every experience we face, there is always a time when ultimate problems exist merely as seed possibilities. In all better feuds between people, in all wars between nations, in all emotional problems of individuals, there was always a time when misunderstanding could have been turned to understanding, when envy could have been turned to respect, when resistance could have been resolved by love. Agree quickly. Get your mind into a state of love and understanding and non-resistance. Whereas, as Esther Hicks says, drop the oars in the river and let spirit take over. Get into that state of surrender and attachment to outcomes. Because ultimately, no matter how much you want to push, you want to will, you want to beg to keep something the way that it used to be, this is a time that's no longer going to work. Things are falling away for a reason. And it's because you people are becoming spiritual giants. All of us are. None of us are exempted. I am definitely not exempted on this falling away fun. Okay? So a few weeks ago, I shared how I had just ended a year cycle where I had agreed to dive in deeply into this last bit of the me that was scared and fearful and nervous about stepping into that which the universe has been asking me to do. There was something that was still holding me back, and I couldn't quite get a pulse on it. It just was a discomfort in my soul, and more things were changing, more and more things were falling away, and more responsibilities were being handed to me. And I wasn't really enjoying that time at all, but what I did do is just stay in faith that the universe has something in store for this time. I got very few prompts or symbols or signs from Spirit as I went through that year. I just stayed in my meditation. I stayed in my running. I stayed in my walking. I stayed in nature. And I just leaned in that nothing can ever hurt me, make me afraid, or take anything away from me. That is a unity statement. Nothing can ever hurt you, make you afraid, or take anything away from you. When you can affirm that in your being, that's faith. That's true faith. And then there's the state of letting go and trusting as you're watching the things fall away, that everything you wanted to do to keep it safe, you can't contain anything. The only thing we can ever count on is actually change. So the sooner we get good at that, the sooner we can stay in that surrender, and the oars we're floating down this river and we don't know which vein it's going to take us on, the sooner we can get excited of how this mystery of life is going to take hold and bring us to that which is being called. There's no anguish there then. Then we're stoked because we know there's always divine order in absolutely everything, and that's even the hard stuff, right? So I shared how I realized that that whole year, even though I thought I was in surrender and I was just stepping in to kind of a voyage of no direction, in that state of surrender, after reflecting on it, I realized I was trying to put holes everywhere. I was actually in some way controlling and dictating the whole thing. And yet but affirming that I was in surrender and affirming that I was in letting go. And I was believing my lies. But then I realized I wasn't sleeping. I was filled with anxiety. I was filled with panic. And all of that, and going through all of that, the thing that I was trying to resist happening, every single thing that I was most scared of happened after a year of plugging all those holes in. Right? So why do we do it? When there is a divine plan. There always has been. And right now, it's a difficult divine plan. Right? It's a difficult time because it's big fallings away, but that doesn't mean that it's not big miracles on the other end. Right? So let's just feel that in our bodies. Let's take that in and witness how that feels to let go of control. Just feel that sigh of, it's never really been about us anyways. We thought we'd just make ourselves such big actors in this game. And the whole gift has always been teaching us to let go and lean into this greater power. This greater mystery that lives within us. We know innately what we need to do. And it's nothing. All this doing, all this going on, all this mind chatter, all the disconnection between head and heart. We're torturing ourselves when we're in that state, right? When if we have true faith that everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. That's Esther Hicks as well. Everything is always working out for me. Let's affirm that together. Everything is always working out for me. Let's say it again. Everything is always working out for me. I have that in my office, and it's right where I sit. Because it always, no matter what stupid stuff is going on, where it's just chaos and craziness, it's like, yeah. But in the end, it is always working out for me. It's just all this inner dialogue that's just bringing such fractures to me, really. Who agrees with that? Who feels that in their life? This mind chatter, it's a monkey, man. You gotta throw that monkey off. I teach what I'm learning, remember, right? I'm sitting right with you right now, guys. All right, so David Guyam talks about this from the Kabbalah, and he explains this process. When you don't know what's going to happen, and you don't know your future, and you don't know when you are going to pay your bills, or you don't know when this family situation that seems so toxic is going to resolve itself, we all live with a not knowing any moment in our lives. There's at least one part of our lives that is confusing and in darkness. Every time you don't know, this is a good sign, all right? So yay, we don't know and we're in darkness. Woo! Right? It's all perspective, folks. We just got to change, we got to get to the positive. Glass half full, not from a glass half empty. So every time you don't know, this is a good sign. The reason why you don't know is you are being asked to put your ego aside. So the miraculous energy can go and form and shape this new destiny of yours. The problem is when we know what to do, when we have complete clarity, we get too involved and we begin to limit the process. So that is why before every great thing that has ever happened to your life, it was most likely preceded by a time of great darkness and confusion and difficulty. And it is by design that you will be put through this confusion. Nobody gets to avoid this, no matter what. It's just part of it. Because this great destiny is being formed for you. Now, when you know that, there's a huge relief, and we've been talking about this now. Anyone who's listening, you are probably being broken down right now in some part of your life. You're probably going through confusion, and it might even feel personal. Who feels like it's personal? Isn't it funny? Like something's out there to get us. Or what did I do in my other lifetime that I deserve this? Right? Or what did I do to somebody when I was a child that I don't remember, that I'm getting slapped back right here from the karmic realm? We love to try to make meaning from it, and yet what if it's just about growth? What if it's about a paradigm shift? What about it being a death and a resurrection or a phoenix process? There's so many names for it. It can be a quantum leap, 3D to 5D. It's all the same thing in the end. It's our willingness. It's our willingness to step in every day without knowing and loving the process, right? If you want to speed up the process of the miracle and you want to have less chaos in that process, have certainty. Tell yourself, I have certainty in the light of the Creator, that I know that everything that the Creator does is good. I have complete certainty that I have everything even though I don't. Feel I have everything, and then you will attract more miracles to you. Right? When you're in that place where you can't figure out what to do, and it can be annoying, and it can be something like where somebody just rubs it on the same spot for like way too long, and it's just so gnawing and it's so annoying. What if you start counting your blessings? Counting your health, counting your life, counting the home you have, counting the running car, counting the running water. It's this basic counting a warm shower. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be some big explosive thing. It's just being grateful. And once we lean in that vibrational energy, that's where attracting energy comes in, right? So part of it is also facing your fears is the first step in the process of undoing and taking steps to overcoming your inner inadequacies. Facing your fears. So that's what I was doing. When I started that year was, I know I don't feel like I'm enough for all the opportunities that are being handed to me right now. So all the miracles, everything I'd ever dreamed of was coming to me. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I like myself enough to step into this whole thing. I don't know if I believe I'm good enough to do this. Who experiences that when big, wonderful miracles do come to you? We can put our head in the sand and actually avoid the miracles. Because the universe is always trying to give us our good. And most often, that obstacle is our belief, not only in the Creator, but in ourselves, right? Joe Dispenza says this. Now we're in quantum physics. All of it says the same, watch. Quantum physics and spirituality. It requires breaking the habit of the old self and then reinventing a new self. So they say in neuroscience, pruning synaptic connections and sprouting new connections. Unmemorizing emotions that are stored in your body and then reconditioning your body to a new mind, to a new emotion, to deprogram, to reprogram, death and resurrection, the Phoenix process. It's all the same thing. It's about deprogramming. It's not carrying the past with us. We got to stop looking back to figure out what to do right here and up forward. But we do because it's all we know. And it's about the not knowing is the reprogramming. It's about being in the between. It's in between where you don't know, where the universe can take over because this isn't in control anymore. It's the soul. It's a vibration, right? So deprogram to reprogram, to lose your mind and create a new one, to move your energy out of the past and then use that energy to drive you to a new future. To lose your mind and create a new one, to move your energy out of the past and then use that energy to drive you to a new future. It was time for something new to be birthed. There's always something new to be birthed, and we call that the awakening. It's been a new earth for how long? We've all been waiting for this new earth. And it's coming by way of us. It's not some like solar blast and all of a sudden we just get it. But did you know that you can get it right now? We delay our good because we believe it's some big project, some big process. And it could be as simple as tuning a string in a guitar to get that perfect chord. It doesn't have to be hard. We tend to just tell us why we don't need to be stepping in because it's going to be some sort of an implosion or explosion. when actually what you're doing is actually bringing yourself back to your perfect alignment, what you were always meant to be. So the nature goes there very naturally once you're in that willingness, in that fluidness, in that adaptability, where you are just brought into, oh, right? So deprogram to reprogram. So I had to visit some childhood stuff, some trauma stuff. I had to visit some stuff that made me feel less than. I had to visit an ex-marriage that I really needed to work on stuff, where she was like, I'm okay, I'm tough. I don't need to ever revisit that marriage that was super emotionally abusive for 11 years of my life, adult life with kids. No, that stuff stings, and it changes you. I didn't want to go there. I want to be in my happy, blissful marriage right now. I'm sure I was a lot of fun to be around that year for my poor husband. But we have to see it, to reveal it, to leave it, to let it go. So it no longer has an unconscious or subconscious form in our being, right? To be fully realized as the perfect child of God that we are, right? So we talked about paradigm shifts 2 weeks ago. Mary Morrissey, who is a professional in this and teaches it, says, as you move through the universal laws on your journey to discover deeper knowledge and create a life you love living, your paradigms become very important. If you want to change your life, you need to change your paradigms. And she goes on to say, it's not enough to understand what a paradigm is. You need to be able to identify them in your own life. The best way to identify them is by seeing examples, which I'm going to share with you today. And I'm sharing with you some already, because we want to shift the paradigm, but we can't necessarily know what the new paradigm is. It's closing up shop on the old ones and then rebuilding the blueprint for the new ones. But how often do we know what we don't want, but cannot figure out what we do want? Right? It's easy to know what we don't want. But we finagle around and we really avoid the topic of, because first of all, complaining, it feels good. It's destroying our lives, but it feels good. It's knowledge. We know what we don't want. But when's the last time you sat and we're like, what do I actually want? What do I actually want? What am I here to do and be? What would really and truly bring me into balance with my heart-soul connection? So often we live for other people. We live for spouses. We live for children, kind of that part of my son graduating. That's the part. I love it being in service to him. My love language is giving love. Receiving love now is the hard one for me. I don't let people take care of me. I am completely self-contained. Have you met my parents? They are too. We are the coldest people on the planet, but the most loving from the heart. But we are not touchy-feely. We're not like... We show it through our words. We show it through our storytelling. We show it by sharing everything with each other. Right? You don't have to be touchy-feely to be a loving person, right? But I'm just saying that might be a little bit of one of the broken places in me, that I have a hard time receiving love. And why do we ever feel something like that? Is because we don't feel worthy of. So that's how you start shifting the paradigm. When you see where you feel, like it's probably subconscious, it's not like you're always saying, oh, I don't feel good enough, or I feel a victim of this, or I feel... It's being in the presence of the feelings that come up when you're in situations that look similar, that have happened throughout your life, and it's the same feeling that keeps coming up and you keep operating the same way. That's the old paradigm. That's the universe showing you, not needed, not wanted, not necessary anymore. And then we sit down and we go into meditation. I'm very clear about what I don't want anymore. Now sit and think about the things you love. I love my birds. I love feeding my birds. I love giving them water every day. That is a pure joy of my life. I must have gotten old recently. I literally live for my hummingbirds, my dogs, my birds, their seed, my children, my I live for them. I live for my parents. I feel so grateful that they're still here. One of my ex-husband lost his mother, and we went to the funeral last Friday, and that was his, now he has not his mother or father, which I was friends with those people since I was a little kid. And it was like, my parents are sitting here with me, right? It's being aware. It's in awareness. There's so many things to be grateful for. But when these things come up that are repeating itself to show you the brokenness, be in that brokenness and tell yourself how worthy you are, how you aren't an imposter, that you are educated, that you have done all the things that deserve all of these things that are being handed unto you, because it's all from God anyways. And who are we? What did Jesus say? I mean, Jesus didn't say it. He didn't try to start a Christian religion. He wasn't here to create followers. He was here to create leaders. He said, do it my way. He said, look at my way, the truth and the light. He said, do it like me. And so what does that make us? We are the Christs. Who feels uncomfortable saying that to themselves? I am the Christ. Come on. If you got a Christian background, that's very uncomfortable stuff right there. This woman right here said that to me a few years ago when I was in a very deep grief, lost over 5 really close people in a 6-month span, and I could not get out of grief. And I probably did 6 months of grief talks. I'm sure they were fantastic, really uplifting, and people went out like, I want to attack the world. And we were at breakfast, and I was telling her what it feels like to have lost all these people that felt like my protectors in this world. They were soul friends. They were the really good people. And it was too many in too much of a succession in a 6-month period. And she looked right at me, and she goes, I said, I just don't know how to pull out of it. I can't get out of this grief. I'm like stuck in it. And she said, don't you realize you are the Christ? And it hit me like a wall of, oh, right, that's right. I'm the Christ. So I could pull myself out of this. I have all the ability. I have the innate knowing. I have this innate ability and this wisdom to pull myself out of this grief that I got stuck in it, because it's easy to get stuck in darkness. And sometimes we have to mirror for someone else. Do you know the power that lives within you? Do you know the power that lives within you? That's what we're here to do too, not just to come into the light, into the Christ light within ourselves, but to help others, to remind them their worth and their glory and their beauty. Do you remember that, Felicia? You don't remember that? I left so pissed at you. I was like, how dare her tell me that I have to pull myself out of this? You know, it's just, because when you're in that rut, you get like consumed by it, right? Who can relate with that? When you get in that rut, it's really like, but when we can reaffirm and know that I am a divine child of God, nothing can hurt me. Nothing can make me sick. Nothing can make me afraid, no matter how much this outer situation looks like it's going to hurt you. It won't. By your merely just surrendering. Come on, spirit guides, take over. Because I've done everything I've tried to do, and it's not working anyways. And if it's not this that I'm wanting to pull off, then Spirit has something in store for me. It's something way better. It's miracle worthy. And every one of us that are going through all this change, we are at the pinnacle of a moment of receiving our life. And our life truly and having it abundantly. And that is a miracle life. Love you guys.
So much opportunity to take hold of these truths and live them in this beautiful country of ours. And to be a part of that beauty to give it the power of attention. Let to go and look at the truth and the beauty that still exists all around us in this free country. We're free to worship in the way we want to worship. Amazing. These insights are so helpful for us to create that new paradigm, that insight into the living beauty of life. So having received that, we have an opportunity to give back to it.
So we want to let you know that we have prayer partners available if you're facing a challenge or even a joy you'd like to share. Our prayer partners are available. You can just stay seated in your seat at the completion of the service, and they'll come to you and pray with you in person in the sanctuary or down in the meditation room. I will have my circle group that will meet for 20 minutes right after the service if you want to discuss the talk or just share one of your joys in your life with me. And then, what else? Do we have anything else going on?
I don't know, I think that if we're going to do, are we going to do Let There Be Peace on Earth?
Yeah, let's do Let There Be Peace on Earth. I think we need it.
Do that, and let's envision it happening in the Middle East and in the Ukraine.
All right, let's just stand where we are, because I don't know if we have enough to do a whole circle. Here we go. You want to come join us? Let's leave it on a high note. Here we go.